Hello and welcome back again to Green Valley Zoo, episode 16. This is quite sort of a mini episode, I suppose. It's a little bit shorter than normal, and it wasn't something that I planned. It was sort of something out of necessity, really, and it's because around the back of the elephant enclosure, as you can see, there was a big gap of greenery, and I wanted something to go in it. I was going to do maybe a backstage area for the elephants, maybe, I don't know, have some sort of a car park and, lots of storage crates and stuff like that. But I thought that they've got the building for that. I added the little bit of building on the back of the main building, and I thought anything like that would be stored in there. So I thought, well, what could I possibly what could I put in this gap? So it's something that I thought about doing for a while, was a child's playground. I thought it'd be quite good fun to give it a go, see what I can create using all the in-game items. And so this is what I'm doing here, as you can see. I create each item individually as a separate building. I thought that would be the easiest way of doing it. And conveniently, this engineer man was just walking by, and so I paused the game and managed to use him to judge the size of everything I was building. So that was very nice of him to stop there for me. So you can see I did a swing first. Pretty simple. This really, it's just it's logs, it's rope, it's planks. As you can see here, I am building a seesaw. It's good fun, actually. I like this sort of thing. It's creative, and it really makes you get to learn all the pieces that are in the game, trying to work out what you can manipulate to look how you want it to look. And it's kind of one of the main reasons why any of us play this game, I think. I know a lot of people do play it for the management side of things, but I've spent my whole life playing management games, and now finally we've got a game like this where you can avoid that and you can just be creative and just spend your time trying to make things look good. So that's why I play it. Certainly in the moment it is anyway. And it is great fun trying to come up with things like this, just different different ways of using all the items to create something entirely new and different. So that's my seesaw, a little bit wonky actually, so I did correct that. The bit in the middle wasn't actually in the middle. So I've got a couple of seesaws over there now, and a couple of big double swings. You can see I put the soil squares down underneath, and my thinking behind that was that these playgrounds often have either sort of wood chips or some sort of bouncy rubber. So that was my thinking there, but it doesn't stay because it didn't look right. And in fact, in the end, what I did was I left the grass, but I put dirt down in areas where there's heavy footfall, so it looks worn out, where people are actually walking around, and I think that looks really good, much better than the soil that I put down first. So yeah, half the fun of this was sort of remembering back to my childhood, really, and trying to remember what things I've gone on in playgrounds, and this was one that I remember. I always had very good balance, so I was always pretty good on this sort of thing. Just it's so simple. It's just a plank, a wooden plank suspended by ropes. It would probably be chains in real life, but the chains in this game are too big to use, so the ropes work just fine. There were swings and roundabouts, and just lots of simple climbing things. I mean, one of the things I build in a minute is literally just a load of logs stuck in the ground at different heights that you have to sort of leap from one to the next. It's very easy to keep children entertained with this sort of thing. I mean, even as an adult, I love going on stuff like this. It's great fun. This one here, again, this would probably be chains in real life, but these ropes work just fine. They look really nice as well. They're so simple, these things. Really, it's just about coming up with, you know, the idea, and then once you actually start building them, it's just a wooden framework and a load of rope. Very simple, very effective, and the end result actually I'm very happy with. It's great fun. I love building stuff like this. It's not the sort of thing that you buy a zoo game to do. You know, generally you buy a zoo game to deal with animals. And oh, please excuse me if my voice is a little bit worn out today. I've got a little bit of a cold at the moment. Please excuse me. So you can see there, I'm placing them down, and I notice often in these modern playgrounds they have them all one after another. So you know, the kids kind of go in a long line. They go from one of the apparatus and you know, and then sort of queue for the next one. So that's what I'm trying to do here: create a sort of snake effect of these different apparatus. This one it really is as simple as just a balance beam. I mean, it couldn't be more simple. It's what, 7 pieces of wood put together, but it's great fun. Kids love stuff like that. Can't remember what I did in the corner here actually, because I was running out of ideas at this point. I couldn't remember other things that I'd played on as a child. Actually, now that I think about it, an obvious one would have been you know, one that has the bars over the top, and you have to hang like a monkey bars. They might even be called monkey bars, I'm not sure. But actually I went with a more complicated one in the end, which was similar to the rope bridge that I made, but with hanging wooden planks instead. I think that's all this was. Again, it's been a few days since I did this, and believe it or not, my memory is that bad that I can't quite remember what I ended up doing. There will be a very short real-time bit at the end of this, but there's really not much extra to show you, if anything at all, actually. But I will just do a brief one just to show you what this looks like in the area that it is next to the elephants, how it all blends together. So you can see here, this is, again, it's just very simple, just you know, wood, rope, planks. Yeah, really easy to put these things together actually. Doesn't really take a lot of imagination, but when they all come together, yeah, I think it's quite effective really. It's quite realistic as well, I think so. I wasn't too sure what to do around the outside, and actually I don't think you see it. Yes, you might see it in this time lapse actually. Obviously I wanted a sign of some sort, and then it also occurred to me that these places will often have a small seating area nearby where the adults can sit down and eat and keep an eye on the kids. So that's actually what I end up doing. But first, the sign. Obvious name, the Elephant Playground. Kind of made sense to me really. And I wanted something that looked a bit playful and a bit amateurish in a way. You know, something that kids would look at and enjoy. So first I'm just kind of placing these out. Suddenly realised I didn't want them to go one after another. I wanted to create a more rounded sign. So you can see I just moved the playground bit down the bottom here. Completely spaced out wrong, so in the end I gave up with that, and I realised I needed to start in the middle and work my way out. So I just got all the letters put down first, and then worked out where the middle was, which was the G and the R, and got them into place, and then you just work from there outwards. Makes much more sense doing it that way. Yeah, it's a very easy technique. Again, just do it flat, and then you can combine it all and lift it up to where you want it. I do love the lettering in this game. It really is effective. You can use it for all sorts of different styles and techniques. So here I just wanted it to look, obviously to look amateurish, but obviously it wouldn't be. It would be a very solid, well-made sign. But I just like the idea of this sort of random wood planks, kind of, you know, like it's just been cobbled together with a hammer and some nails and stuck up on a post kind of thing. Not particularly sure why I wanted that look. It was just an idea that I had for the sign, something a bit different. Obviously I wanted it up in the air. So I didn't want it to be anything that would be too heavy, so no stone. It had to be made of wood. And I wanted some sort of elephant in it, so I just experimented a little bit with all these different shapes and found this one, made it grey. Thought that kind of made sense. And I think I'll go with a baby one as well, actually, yeah. Thought a mother and baby, you know, that's sort of the theme of a playground, the parents taking the children, so I thought a mother and baby elephant on the sign made sense. Just a little bit fiddling around with them. I wasn't too sure if I wanted them right in the middle or behind the words. I wanted the baby, I think, mainly on display, like, you know, it's a bit too small to hide behind the lettering. And when I put that down just above the play, I kind of needed the mum to be in the same bit, so it looks like they're walking on the word playground at the bottom. Yeah, I think it works okay. And obviously it just needs a couple of beams behind it, just so it looks like it's actually supported. And yeah, really simple thing to put together. You know, it couldn't be an easier thing, really. But I think it looks pretty good. Something a bit different. I'm not particularly good at doing signs. I think that much has been made clear already in my previous videos. I do what I can, but I'm not an expert at anything in the game. That's pretty obvious. I'm still learning a lot. Oh, here we go. So this is what I did. So you can see I deleted the saw then. I just thought, right, think back to my playground days. Where would the grass get worn out? And of course it's at the ends of all these places, underneath the swings and underneath the seesaws. I think it looks really effective, actually. It's a very realistic look. You know, a little bit down the sides where kids jump on and off in the middle instead of going on at the ends. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good, actually. Really happy that I came up with that idea. Certainly works better than the soil. There really wasn't anything else I could have used under the ground, you know, for sort of some sort of padded ground. I realised I wanted a fence around it. I think most playgrounds these days have fences, just to, you know, just to keep the kids a little bit contained. So I wanted to use something bright. Obviously, being a playground, everything generally is coloured quite brightly, just to keep the kids happy and entertained. So I used some of these African posts, and obviously just a lot of copying and pasting. Obviously just leaving a couple of doorways where the people can come in and out. Yeah, really simple stuff, but that's kind of what this game thrives on, is doing lots of small simple things, but when you put them all together it creates a really nice final effect. And I think that works well here. It's just simple fencing around. You know, just making sure the kids don't run off. Obviously needed it along the back here as well, even though there's already fencing between this area and the elephants. You can never have too many fences when children are involved, especially near elephants, near any sort of enclosure. So that was in, and then I thought, you know, I've got this corner here, and this is when I had the idea of doing a small seating area. Again, nothing too fancy and clever, just a small area that I could put some picnic tables down on. And I think I cover it up with I tried doing it like this, you know, changing the path, but I didn't want to have any sort of edging on this. I didn't want a fence around it or anything like that. I wanted it to just be as it was, and I don't like the bare edging of the pathways as they are, and obviously I don't like the curbs on the pathways either. So I went with my usual technique, which this is what I always use: just sink some roof into the ground and use it as floor. It's so simple, but it works. Yeah, it does it. Yeah, you can see it's effective. It's a very simple thing, but it certainly gets the job done. And then just a few finishing touches. I wanted some sort of again edging on this path, but I wanted a soft edging because I'd already put the fence down. So I found this bush, the blackthorn bush, which I thought looked really nice. So just some of that along the edge. I think I put it along both of the back edges as well, and just, you know, just blending it all together really. Get a tree in there, add a bit of colour, do my little copy and twisting technique on the tree, you know, blending the ground a bit, just wear things out. Really lots of just small touches just to finish things off. Again, just covering up edges. You know, I'm a big fan of soft edging. I don't really like leaving anything too uncovered. You know, if you can stick a bush down, then generally that's what I tend to do. And then just a few lights to finish it off as well, just to keep it lit up at night. Not that there'd be people in at night, but you know, it's good to make it look nice. So yeah, so this is almost at the end of the time lapse now. Like I say, there's really not a lot of changes, I don't think, but I will just do a very short real-time segment, just a minute or so, just to show you how this area looks. So I will see you there. And here we are back with our elephant playground. So yeah, I think you saw most of this in the time lapse, but I will just reiterate what I've done, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it fills in this corner, as you can see exactly where it is now. You know, I needed something in this corner, and I think that works quite nicely. I did decide in the end not to continue this shrubbery down this side. I thought there was enough barrier here, and I didn't want to block the view of the elephants any more than was necessary. And yeah, I mean, it's, you know, there is no more to show really, but I do think it works. It looks nice. I think these are effective little things. And if I was a kid, I would want to come and have a play on it. So yeah, so now you can see that is the elephants all finished. I have no idea what's going to go next to them, but yeah, I'm really happy actually. I think this has turned out to be one of my favourite areas. I think it just looks, I think it looks very zoo-like. You know, you could do lots of fancy enclosures in this game, but they're not always that realistic. But this actually, to me, does look quite realistic. You may think otherwise, and you can tell me in the comments if you want. But yeah, I like it. So there we go. I'm going to leave you there. Next video, we're going to be doing another animal, but I'm not going to tell you which. You're going to have to tune in to find out. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your company, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the next one. Until then, take care, stay safe, and bye for now.